I'm all about showing you guys how to eat healthy, easy, and quick, okay? So what am I doing over here in the sliced meat section where everything's already pre-packaged? That's got to be unhealthy. Remember, if it's in a package, it can't be good for you. Well, why not? Okay, I got sliced roast beef here. Okay, it's all packaged up. It's vacuum sealed. Why is this less healthy than if I go down to the butcher and get him to slice some roast beef off a big chunk of meat?
That's what they're kind of waiting on.
All right. So anyway, you just grab this stuff. And remember, this is protein again. I keep telling you guys, up your protein if you want to feel full and lose weight, okay? And people don't realize that most of this lean meat has got very little fat in it. It's almost all protein and no carbs, okay? So as long as you stay away from salamis and bolognas and ground beef that's got a big percentage of fat, you're great. I mean, you know, I got roast beef, pastrami, turkey, ham, almost all of those are very lean protein sources, okay? So you can eat this stuff all day long. It's really good for you. Guess what? First thing I see in the frozen section aisle are vegetables, tons and tons of vegetables. Gosh, that can't be good for you. When they freeze them, it's gotta screw it up and make it really bad. No, it's fantastic. Freezing vegetables and fruit does not hurt the nutritional value at all, okay? So if you want to do something really straightforward and easy, man, you can just grab pretty much any vegetable. Remember, vegetables have got a lot of fiber, they got a lot of bulk, they make you feel full and satiated, and they have almost no calories. All right, now they don't have any protein, all right, but they're very, very low in carbohydrates, and they got basically no fat. So I think eating vegetables is almost free when it comes to calorie counting. You don't even hardly have to worry about it. Just the more vegetables, the better. I promise. It'll make you poop a whole lot, which makes me smile. And then also just makes you feel full, and it really reduces your calories. And so losing fat is about eating at a caloric deficit, which means basically we're just burning more calories every day than we're consuming. So this is a great way. This whole section here basically of frozen vegetables is wonderful. I mean, they got some super stuff down here. If you want to get mixed vegetables, stir fries, you know, you just put them in a skillet with a little bit of olive oil. They have the instructions on the back. All this stuff is great. Basically, just buy whatever you think tastes good. It's almost impossible to go wrong when we're talking about buying vegetables. All right, guys, do I really need to talk about frozen pizzas? I don't care whether it's fresh or frozen. Tons of carbs, lots of fat, okay? It's mainly the carbs that I'm worried about. So the crust is basically just another version of bread, right? So bread has got a real high glycemic index, means, you know, your body converts it to sugar real fast, which causes your insulin to spike and all kinds of problems. So avoid breads and doughy stuff and pastas and things like that, all right? So I know I'm gonna get some backlash on this one, but I wanna show you. These are frozen meals, okay? So there's all different examples of frozen meals. Now, some of them you need to avoid. They got tons of carbohydrates, lots of sugar, you know, lots of sodium, things like that. But as long as you start turning them over and reading the labels, you can find some really healthy stuff. So, all right, I'm just gonna give you some examples here. All right, this is a slow roasted beef. So what does it come with? It comes with lean beef, green beans, carrots, and it looks like some mashed potatoes here, gravy. So let's see what we got here. Now, right on the front, it tells me it has 14 grams of protein. That's a decent amount of protein. 260 calories for this entire meal. Is that a lot? I know, that's real low. You guys need to figure out how many calories is a lot, how many calories is really low. So I can turn on the back and I can just start looking at it, you know. 6 grams of dietary fiber, that's fantastic. Only 5 grams of sugar, that's really low for an entire meal. Only 5 grams of total fat. I mean, this is a no-brainer. You stick it in the microwave for 7 minutes and you're done. Only 260 calories, come on guys. Now, that being said, you can still get some really unhealthy frozen meals. All right, same brand, right? So it's got to be good for you, just like the previous thing I showed you. Now, you have to look on the back, okay? Now, I'm looking here, 21 grams of protein. Ooh, 21 grams of protein. That sounds good already. Then I move up here. Oh my God, total sugars, well, 5 grams, that's not bad. Dietary 5 grams, that's not too bad. Total carbohydrates, 71 grams of carbs. And remember, I want you guys to try to reduce your carbohydrate intake when we're losing weight. Increase protein, decrease total carbs. And then I go to the top to the total fat, 22 grams of fat. Now that's a lot of fat. So this little guy has got a lot of fat and a lot of carbs in it. So we need to avoid that. Plus it's 570 calories. The previous meal I showed you was what, 270. Big difference. Okay, so the moral of the story is, here in the frozen meal section is, there could be some really good ones and some really bad ones. Okay, so just because it's frozen doesn't mean you have to avoid it. Just like frozen fruits and frozen vegetables, plenty good for you. You can find some really good frozen meals, but you got to take the time, turn it over, look at the nutritional information, all right? And then once you find the ones that are good for you, guess what? You just buy them over and over and over again. So, you know, you can probably find half a dozen really good, balanced frozen meals over here that require nothing but microwave time. Look over here, tons and tons of ice cream, okay? I don't need to tell you guys, avoid ice cream because it's just loaded with sugar, okay? But still, you're saying, Mark, I got a sweet tooth, I gotta have some sweets. Let me show you a trick. I do too, to a degree. And so I've spent hours looking through this section over the years trying to find something that's kind of sweet tasting, but still not terrible for me. Come follow me. Remember, avoid sugar. That is the #1 bad thing, all right? And I have found some stuff down here. These are fudgesicles. See how it says no sugar added? And they don't taste terrible, okay? These are not the best in the world, but I buy this stuff all the time because it only has 40 calories per bar. And look, guys, you know, it doesn't have any protein, 1 gram of protein, all right? It's got a little bit of sugar in there and basically no fat. So there's not a lot to it. There's not a lot of nutritional value to this. However, it's nice and sweet, and if you need to have a dessert to make you feel full and satiated, you know, after a meal, this is a really good trick. Okay, guys, remember, protein is good, sugar is bad. Beef jerky out there. This is pretty much nothing but protein, because remember, it's just kind of dried out meat, okay? So, you know, guys, just try different ones, okay? See what you like. Some of these get pretty expensive, but you know, when you turn it over and look in the back, man, it's just got loaded with protein, okay? Just a tiny bit of sugar, okay? Almost no fat or 0 fat. I mean, this is like 90% protein here. So this is a great snack, okay, to get that protein grams in that you need every day. All right, now we've got a bunch of nuts here. Now guys, I tell you guys to eat nuts. It's a good source of fat that we need to produce testosterone. I think almonds are probably the best all-around choice when it comes to nuts. I get these big giant things here just because it's easy. I don't have to come refill all the time. But guys, these things do have a lot of fat in them. Okay, so be careful, moderation. You can't just eat big giant handfuls of almonds every day, all right? All right, I'm on the aisle that sells the beer and wine also. Guess what? I'm not buying any. Now, it doesn't mean I don't drink. I do like to drink, but alcohol, guys, is a killer. All right, so if you're one of those guys that comes home after work every night and thinks you are entitled, all right, to 2 or 3 glasses of wine or a couple of mixed drinks, you're gonna have to stop it, all right? Alcohol is loaded with calories, and it really does screw up your body's ability to convert protein into muscle, okay? That whole synthesis process gets kind of out of whack when you start drinking. So I'm not buying any. I already got plenty at my house, all right? And I only drink socially, so only when I have buddies over while I drink. And, you know, I usually have no more than 2 drinks. Most people would never even think about this. So I'm in the sauces and hot sauces and jalapenos and all that kind of stuff right here. Boy, is this good or bad for you? You know? Well, guess what? Hot sauce, salsas, it's just nothing but a bunch of chopped up vegetables and peppers, right? So this stuff is fantastic, okay? I know it's too hot for most of you guys, but you could actually drink this if you wanted to. It'd be kind of hard on you, but there's very, very few calories when you start talking about sauces and stuff like that. Now, you get into those creamy white sauces, that stuff is just loaded with butter, okay, and oil, so you gotta avoid that. But basically, everything you're looking at here in all these jars are basically processed and chopped up vegetables. So you really can't go wrong here. Look at all these canned. And remember guys, just like frozen isn't bad for you, canned is not bad for you, okay? So, you know, all these kind of canned beans, these are a great way to get fiber and protein in, all right? Now, I remember people saying, you can't have refried beans, there's tons of fat in there. Really? 2 grams of fat. All right, and then, you know, you got plenty of protein in this stuff, lots of fiber in here, and you can even find fat-free, okay, refried beans. I like to use these to make nachos. So refried beans with my reduced fat shredded cheese that I bought earlier, and I put those on Triscuits, all right, instead of chips. You know, it's a pretty healthy meal, Triscuit nachos. This is the often forgotten part of the grocery store, the tuna fish. Guys, tuna fish is like 100% protein. It's fantastic. So the only trick is, guys, I want to make sure you buy the tuna fish in water and not vegetable oil. So we got one of them. It's light tuna in vegetable oil. No, all right? Why? It's just a bunch of extra unnecessary added fat. It's not terrible. But remember guys, we're just trying to, every little trick helps, okay? So you buy it, okay, tuna fish in water, all right? Man, we get 0 fat here, okay? When it's in water versus over here when it's in oil, you know, I got 3.5 grams of fat. So real simple way, and remember guys, 100% protein. You guys can eat tuna fish all you want. Now remember, when you're just eating it out of the can, it's dry, it doesn't taste very good. There's some real simple tricks. Just add some light mayonnaise that has low fat, or horseradish sauce. Guys, I love adding horseradish sauce and some light mayonnaise to this stuff. Stir it up. Matter of fact, you can chop up some celery and stuff like that, put it in here. Chop up some pickles, all right? Fantastic, all right? Eat this stuff all day long. Bad boy, cookies, just say no. Sugar, 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 sugar. Just no, 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 no. Gotta give you guys some little cheat foods, right? All right, Triscuits. Now, yes, it's processed, right? But it's made with, you know, 100% whole grain wheat, all right? And I like that. And, you know, it's got 3 grams of protein in this thing, all right? So I like to use these when I'm doing, like, creating nachos, or when I will use this to dip and eat my hummus with. Okay, that's a good example. So instead of potato chips, instead of corn chips, which are all fried, okay, these things are baked, they're not fried. And this is a good kind of alternative to, you know, other types of chips and that kind of stuff. Okay, here's another freebie when it comes to calories. Spices. Guys, you might be, you know, saying, oh, Mark, I don't like vegetables, or I don't like this and that. All right, well, spice it up. Spices are free, okay? So pretty much everything in this whole section here, all right, it's got no calories, all right? Put as much pepper, put as much garlic on there, you know, whatever spice, you know, floats your boat, load it up, baby. Okay, here's a little trick that I like to do is, here is the sugar-free sweetening aisle, okay? So we got Splenda and Sweet and Low and all these different kinds of sucralose, all these kinds of sweeteners that have got 0 calories in them. That's fine. Yeah, but Mark, those things cause cancer, blah, blah, blah. No, they only cause cancer if you force a mouse to eat an entire box of this thing every single day. They do not cause cancer for humans, all right? It's ridiculous. I love putting this on my cereal, and it's got 0 calories, no sugar. When I have my buddies over on Friday nights, I like to cook burgers sometimes. Well, guess what? Ground beef can come with a lot of extra fat. This is 15% fat, 85% lean, okay? I would avoid that. I've even seen 20% fat. That's about the worst, okay? All you gotta do is just look around. Here we go, we got 90% lean, 10% fat. Real simple way of just saving some unnecessary calories. That's pretty good. You can even find leaner than this. I've seen 93% lean, 7% fat, okay? It doesn't taste as good, right? Remember, fat tastes good. I would go with the 10% lean stuff. You wanna make some turkey burgers? Look at this. Ground turkey, 93% lean, only 7% fat. Okay, steaks. For some reason, steaks got a bad rap. Everybody thought steaks make you fat. I mean, most steaks are really lean, all right? So, see all that red? There's almost no fat in that, okay? Versus, you know, we got this where you can see some marbling and some white. Of course, all the white and marbling is fat. So, you can get some really, really good lean steaks. And once again, you can even buy steaks with the fat on it and just cut it off after you cook it. And for you guys that are really, really lazy like me, look at this. This is pre-cooked fajita meat, okay? You cut it open and you stick it on a plate and you eat it. All right, now that's pretty simple. I was telling you earlier about some cereal that I like. All right, I don't know, there's gotta be 100 choices of cereal here, and I would say 95 of them are not good for you. So, not just that they're processed, that's not that big of a deal in this case, it's the macros. So you need to look, and I've spent a lot of time in this aisle, and this is what I've come up with. Kashi, all right, and it's got several different flavors here. All right, Kashi is the name of the company, and this specific version of the Kashi is by far and away the healthiest. This is the best cereal you can eat, guys. I eat this every single day. 12 grams of protein in 1 cup of cereal, 13 grams of fiber in 1 cup of cereal. It only has 8 grams of sugar, okay, and 2 grams of fat. So, guys, this stuff rocks.